guys, welcome back to Rocket Gyan, my fellow space tubers. So today we have another launch from SpaceX. This is a TurkSat 5B mission, and yes, this one is a regular satellite mission from them. But this rocket is looking quite worked up from the image, and it is because here for this mission both the fairing halves as well as the booster is being reused. The fairing halves the both the fairing halves were used in previous mission, I guess the S15 mission, and it will be using again they will be using it again. So SpaceX has its tradition of using reusing everything, and they are using it again. Welcome all today, and we'll see this launch and see how what beautiful scenery we will be having for this launch. How are you all? Hi, Robert Screener. Yes, we all are excited for this launch. Okay. Uh, so there's not much to talk about this launch, but there are quite a couple of milestones which SpaceX has um, accomplished. This will be the shortest time between two SpaceX launches, 15 hours and 17 minutes. And this will be the 30th launch from for SpaceX in 2021, which means, well, this is a record from them. And this is not yet the last record of launch of 2021. We'll have this CRS-4 mission, I guess, for the commercial resupply mission to ISS. So they still have that. At least one is still there. So 31 is on the clocks, and yes, they are doing great. And I remember one thing that they actually had some dry days in between this year where they didn't launch at all. Like in a month or so, they like launched only once, which is not a criteria for SpaceX. They like to launch twice or even thrice in a month, right? But that did not happen this time. So yes, just a sec, guys. Okay, so now, hi, Yehuda Tripansky, hi, Iron Clue Gaming, hi, Alburo. Can't wait for this awesome stream. Thank you so much. Hello, good morning. I'm good. Good morning to you all. And I think it's like good night for all my US friends. Uh, it is cold as hell. It's like 3 degree here where I'm living. What will be the launch all about? Okay, let's just get into that. As I said, there are a couple of milestones which has been accomplished, which I just said. This will be accomplished with this launch. First of all, this thing, the fairing half as well as this is quite rusty here because they are being reused. The only part new is the second stage. So that is great. And talking about the the payload, let's just talk about the payload once. This is this one, the TurkSat 5B satellite. This is the follow-up for TurkSat 5A. The TurkSat 5A was also launched from by SpaceX only. This is a communication satellite for Turkey, but this will be used both by civilians as well as military uses, and this will be operated as I said, will be used for TV broadcasting and telecommunication to Turkey, Europe, Middle East, and parts of Asia and Africa. Okay, so this is a thing. Now, this satellite will be going to geosynchronous orbit at 42 degrees inclination, but the SpaceX Falcon 9, I don't think so, has the capability push the satellite to geosynchronous orbit. What it can do is it can push to geosynchronous transfer orbit, and that's what it will be doing. And one more interesting fact is that the Turkish president is quite impressed with what Elon Musk is doing for them, and he has actually gifted a NFT to Elon Musk for which was made by, there was one art which was made by like 5,000 children, as I said. Uh, that art has been gifted to, converted to NFT and gifted to Elon Musk. So this is one thing. They have not shown how that look like, so we don't know, but we do know that it has been gifted. So this NFT is a new trend right now in the on the internet, and uh, as you know, Elon Musk is on latest with everything, so he must be quite impressed with that. Okay, uh, now let's have a look at the mission profile. Mission profile is quite standard. The launch, the ascent, then the main events, the stage separation, the second engine start, and yeah, that's it. Uh, the second engine means the rocket then flies off. Here the fairing separation will happen, and then finally the payload separation. And the first stage will do flip maneuver, will do entry burn, will do aerodynamic guidance, and then vertical landing on the drone ship. This is a quite standard profile. I mean, this thing which SpaceX does is itself quite complex, but it is doing it for so long and so frequently now that it is like a routine thing, which is unbelievable. In landing constantly with such precision, and making it making it look like such a easy task is incredible. And if I talk about, see, this is why I'm telling it is going to GTO, because the time is 32 minutes 45 seconds for the deployment. Hence, it will just raise the apoapse to geosynchronous orbit, and then after that, this satellite, which is equipped with the electric thrusters in it, which is a difference between this one and TurkSat 5A, will use those electric thrusters to finally go up to geosynchronous orbit, basically circularize with that elliptical orbit. Okay, let me see whether we have the live stream now.
My name is Ian
We do
McCullough,
have. Okay.
and I'm a sales manager here at SpaceX, joining you from our headquarters here in Hawthorne, California. Just 15 hours ago, we successfully launched 52 satellites from Space Launch Complex 4 East at Vandenberg from Space Launch
Over
Complex
to
4
that.
East at Vandenberg Space Force Base, and we're back again joining you all for the launch of TurkSat 5B. TurkSat 5B is a communications satellite that was designed and manufactured by our customer Airbus. The satellite will provide broadband internet services to Turkey and various other parts of the world. We're having a busy few days as we are also gearing up to support the CRS-24 cargo resupply mission to the International Space Station on Tuesday, December 21st at 5:06 a.m. Eastern Time. Before we explore more into today's payload, let's take a closer look at the Falcon 9 vehicle supporting to today's mission. On your screen is a live view of Falcon 9 awaiting its 10:58 p.m. Eastern Time launch from Space Launch Complex 40 from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida. Falcon 9 is our two-stage liquid-fueled launch vehicle and stands 230 feet, or 70 meters tall, which is greater than the wingspan of a 747 aircraft. The bottom two-thirds of the vehicle is the first stage. Most recently, we successfully launched a reflown booster for a record-breaking 11th time during the Starlink mission earlier today. As you can tell from the reentry soot, it's pretty easy to spot a flight-proven booster. Tonight will be the third flight for this particular first stage. It previously supported NASA's CRS-22 mission in June earlier this year, and Crew-3 only last month. At the bottom of the first stage, there are 9 Merlin engines that will get the F9 off the ground and up to the thinner parts of the Earth's atmosphere before separating from the second stage and making its way back down to Earth for landing. And it's part of the rocket that we will attempt to recover for a third time on our drone ship, A Shortfall of Gravitas. About 2.5 minutes into flight, the first and second stage will separate, and the second stage will ignite its single MVAC engine to carry the TurkSat 5B spacecraft into a geostationary transfer orbit. The TurkSat 5B satellite is currently safely enclosed inside the 17-foot diameter payload fairing, which is the structure at the very top of the rocket you see on your screen. This protects the satellites from aerodynamic heating, loads, and contamination during ascent. Once we reach the vacuum of space, we will jettison the fairing halves while the second stage continues onto orbit. The fairing halves we are using today are flying to space for the second time, both having previously supported the GPS-3 Space Vehicle 5 mission in June earlier this year. and we will be attempting to recover them today using our recovery ship, Bob.
Good evening. I'm John Innsbrucker, Falcon Principal Integration Engineer, joining you from the webcast desk in Hawthorne, California. The launch and satellite vehicle teams are ready for launch as we approach T-minus 12 minutes to liftoff. Falcon 9 team was on the system and the Merlin engines on both the first and second stages. And most recently, we completed the poll to proceed with propellant load and launch. This was at T-minus 38 minutes, and all 7 members of the launch crew were go. Our team began loading propellant on time at T-minus 35 minutes. Falcon 9's first and second stages used the same 2 propellants. One propellant is fuel, the second propellant is an oxidizer. So Falcon 9's fuel is RP1, a refined form of kerosene. Now to burn the fuel, we need an oxidizer. In the lower portion of the Earth's atmosphere, oxygen makes up about 21% of the air that you breathe. So most fires never need to worry about supplying an oxidizer. It's supplied by the oxygen in the air. However, there is no atmosphere in space to provide oxygen molecules, so rockets need to carry their own. And our oxidizer is super chilled liquid oxygen called densified LOX. The liquid oxygen is chilled well below its boiling point, and that increases its density, allowing us to load more into the first and second stage LOX tanks. Now, Falcon 9 carries over 1.1 million pounds of propellant at liftoff, you can see here on the screen, and we burn off most of it in the first 8.5 minutes. Now, all of that propellant goes through the 9 engines on the first stage and the single engine on the second stage. Now, later in flight on the second stage video, you may notice the nozzle of the second stage engine is larger than those on the first stage engines. That's because the second stage engine only operates in the vacuum of space, while the first stage engines have to operate from sea level up to vacuum. So in the vacuum of space, a large nozzle allows the pressure of the Merlin engine to fully expand so that it matches that vacuum pressure when it leaves the nozzle. Now, if we tried to use that large nozzle on the first stage engines, it would be very inefficient until the last seconds of first stage flight when we do finally get to the vacuum of outer space. So we use a smaller nozzle on first stage engines, and that's a much better match for flying through the Earth's atmosphere on the way to space. Now, on the weather front at Cape Canaveral, we started with a 10% probability of violating launch weather requirements. We've been watching some showers on both sides of the launch complex, but nothing right now looks like it's going to interfere with launch. So we don't expect any weather holds as we continue the countdown. The weather conditions are also looking good for booster landing on our drone ship and for fairing recovery. So with that, the launch vehicle, the satellite, the weather, and the range are all good to go for a 10:58 p.m. Eastern Time liftoff from Space Launch Complex 40.
As I mentioned earlier, the TurkSat 5B is a communication satellite that will provide broadband internet services and will be the most powerful of the TurkSat satellite fleet. The TurkSat 5B communication satellite will operate in Ku and Ka bands at the 42 degrees east longitude slot in geostationary orbit in order to provide service in a wide range of areas covering the Middle East, the Persian Gulf, the Red Sea, the Mediterranean, Nigeria, various parts of Africa, and its immediate neighbors. TurkSat 5B has high data transmission capacity in the Ka band and has a designed service life of over 35 years. Now, let's take a moment to learn more about what makes this communication satellite unique.
Hello? Okay. Most powerful satellite for Turkey that you can definitely see. Those definitely look like engines, right? Whoa. So these are engines which looks like eyes here. They are on the both sides. They are not like situated on the aft side, right? This has to be like the topmost commercial for a satellite that I have ever seen. Great animation, great everything.
T-minus 4 minutes, 40 seconds and counting.
Okay.
And shortly, the transporter erector will retract the strongback to the pre-launch position. That's about 2 degrees from the rocket. What we're waiting right now is to see the clamp arms open around the second stage, and that'll be followed by the hydraulic movement.
Retract has started.
Okay, we've heard
Okay,
the call
thank you
out
so
there. The
much
strongback
NGC
retract has started.
6543 for thanks for a great year of rocket launches, and thank you all for having coming up again and again to listen to me to gain the knowledge and just enjoy the launch, right? Thank you all for having support me so much this year.
And then once we're at launch, ground hydraulics will move the strongback to a position about 45 degrees away. Now, first stage fuel loading is complete. We're currently waiting for first stage liquid oxygen loading to complete at about T-minus 3 minutes. Second stage will complete a minute after that.
Things are looking great.
Now, 1 minute before liftoff, you're going to hear the announcement Falcon 9 is in startup. Now, this announcement means the rocket's first and second stage computers are now controlling the launch countdown on the Falcon 9. Now, at about T-minus 2 seconds, we'll light the 9 engines on the first stage. Once the engines are confirmed to be at full power, the flight computer on the second stage will command the ground hold downs to release the rocket right at T0.
Stage 1, LOX load complete.
We've heard the call out. Stage 1 LOX load is complete. We're on time, coming up at T-minus 3 minutes and counting.
Okay, this
Now,
is
the satellite
happening.
team is continuing to monitor the status and health of the TurkSat 5B payload located inside the fairing on top of the second stage. Now, all the systems are go on the satellite. And the satellite did switch from ground power to its internal batteries at T-minus 16 minutes.
Okay,
Coming
does
up on T-minus 2.5 minutes shortly.
look like quite foggy
Everything
in there,
continues to look good. We're still loading liquid oxygen on the second stage.
but you
Now,
can
currently the range is green. The
It's
air and
not.
sea space, as well as the area around Complex 40, they're clear for launch. And on the weather front, as we talked a few minutes ago, the good news is we don't have any weather that looks like it's going to hold us. But if we did have a weather rule violated, we cannot stop and try to launch later. But the good news is the weather looks good for launch. Now, if for some reason we have to call a hold on today's launch, we have a backup opportunity scheduled tomorrow at the same time. All right, now we're waiting to hear the call out for stage 2 LOX load complete.
Stage 2, LOX load complete.
There we are. So we've closed out propellant loading on all stages. We're getting ready to begin what we call blowing down or purging the liquid oxygen propellants out of the strongback that we're going up to the second stage.
Okay, T
Now we'll be
minus
venting
1
down
minute and
pressure
30
in the
seconds.
strongback.
Started.
And you can see there's a stream of white vapor coming off of the strongback. That's normal. That's just the excess pressure in the ground side being vented out, and it's meeting that warm, humid Florida air. And you get that white condensation. Next event coming in 10 seconds is going to be startup. We'll also begin pressurizing the first and second stages for launch.
T minus 60 seconds, guys. This is happening.
Falcon is in startup.
We will get some great
We've gone to
views.
startup. Flight computers on both stages are now running the Falcon 9 countdown. Next event, launch directors go.
And
LD, go for launch.
we have go for
You
the
heard it.
launch.
Launch directors given the go. Everything continues to look good. T minus 36 seconds and counting. All systems are go for the launch of Falcon 9 with TurkSat 5B.
T minus 30 seconds.
30 seconds, guys. Okay, it's happening. T minus 20, 19, 18, 17, 16,
T
15,
minus 15 seconds.
14, 13, 12, 11, 10.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition
Ignition.
and liftoff.
Whoa! Magnificent as always.
Pitching downrange.
Stage 1 chamber pressure is nominal.
Whoa. This never disappoints.
T plus 40 seconds, Falcon 9 has successfully lifted off from Slick 40 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station, carrying the
Power
TurkSat
telemetry
5B
nominal.
satellite to geosynchronous transfer orbit. We've throttled down in preparation for maximum dynamic pressure. We're in the throttle bucket. Good views from the SpaceX ground cameras following the first
Falcon is
stage.
supersonic.
And guys, you see that the flame or the plume
Gone
is
supersonic. The
kind
Merlin
of,
engines are back up to full
trying
power.
to go up rather than you see this thing. They are trying to go up rather than go down, and it is completely nominal because there's like a low pressure area created within that engine bay. So the plume goes wherever wherever there is low pressure. So that's why it's just tries to climb up, but it's completely nominal, and it used to happen in Saturn V too. It was a great phenomena visually. So yeah, and now we will be having Miko and the stage separation coming up next.
And then the second stage engine will ignite at about the 2-minute and 44-second mark.
MVAC is chilling in.
The MVAC-D engine chill-in call-out. We've begun putting a little bit of liquid oxygen through the turbo pump to get it cold in preparation for second stage ignition. That's coming up in just about 34 seconds from now. First stage is coming up on 4 Gs acceleration, and we're going to begin throttling down to hold 4 Gs.
Oh, it's already 60 kilometers up.
Getting
This
ready
thing
for
is
main
so
engine
fast.
cutoff.
We have Miko.
First stage engine cutoff.
Stage separation
Stage
confirmed.
separation confirmed, and second engine start confirmed. Yeah.
MVAC ignition.
We've got successful stage separation. The second stage now under power of the single Merlin vacuum engine. We'll be coming up on fairing deploy in a little under 30 seconds. Views of the titanium grid fins beginning to deploy on the left as we see the lights of Florida in the background as we head east, due east from the Cape into our transfer orbit parking orbit.
The propellant color for RP1
Getting ready for the
unlocks
camera on second stage to switch forward to look at the spacecraft and the payload fairing for
Is-
fairing deploy.
Fairing
yellowish orange
separation
only.
confirmed.
And fairing separation confirmed. There you go. We have
And there you see, the two
confirmation.
fairing halves have separated, falling away from the vehicle. We're now exposing the TurkSat 5B satellite to outer space. As a reminder, we will be attempting to retrieve these two fairing halves with the help of our recovery vessel, Bob. Now, as mentioned previously, these two fairing halves supported the GPS-3 Space Vehicle 5 mission in June of this year. But right now, we're at T plus 4 minutes and counting. Everything continues to go well for the Falcon 9 mission, carrying TurkSat 5B.
Okay. What happened here?
Into the parking orbit.
As John mentioned, it's T plus 4 minutes and now 20 seconds into today's mission. We're currently in the first of 2 planned MVAC burns for satellite deployment. At T plus 6 minutes and 27 seconds, you should see on your screen the first stage is entry burn, a burn that lasts 24 seconds. For the entry burn, we relight the center engine E9, and then partway through, we relight E1 and E5 engines. So we have a total of 3 M1D engines helping to slow down the vehicle as it passes through the Earth's atmosphere. You'll see this exhaust start as a circular plume at the bottom from the single engine, then shape into a longer, narrower plume when the other two engines ignite. Reusability is a key to lowering the cost of spaceflight, which enables more investments in critical scientific research. The Falcon 9, that first stage that is supporting today's mission, will perform this entry burn for the 3rd time, having previously supported both the CRS-22 resupply flight to the ISS and the Crew-3 launch just last month. Great view on the right-hand side of the MVAC nozzle. The Merlins on the first stage with their short nozzles, are optimized for sea level. These achieve around 190,000 pounds of thrust during ascent and descent, while the MVAC engine with its extended nozzle is optimized for 220,000 pounds of thrust in vacuum. Now we're about 45 seconds away from the entry burn on the first stage.
Okay, guys, I like to mention this thing that if you now also think that SpaceX catches the fairing half. Now they have they are not doing it for quite a long time. What they do now is to recover for the recovery of the fairing halves is that they just fish it out of the water from their fish boats or whatever you want to say, like bob. So you will see that happening.
Watch out for that landing, that entry burn begin in just a moment.
Stage 1 FTS is saved.
Stage 1 entry startup.
And where you go.
Really bright from that entry burn start.
Maybe just a little more ignition fluid leaked in. Why a bit brighter, but now things are looking great. The speed is decreasing rapidly. You can see that. That's what we want. And entry burn shutdown.
Stage 1 entry burn shutdown.
And there it looks like we've had a successful
now the
entry
exciting
burn
parts begin.
If you noticed on the launch pad, the Falcon 9, when the Falcon 9 makes its way back to Earth, you may notice some different soot markings on the outer side, or the outer edges of the rocket. If you ever wondered how those soot markings are formed, it's because the soot is generated when the carbon-based rocket-grade kerosene RP1 burns. Since reentry occurs engines first, the booster flies through its own plume, which deposits the soot on the rocket, and you can see some of those sparks and soot flying up at the camera there on the left-hand side.
Terminal guidance.
Yeah, we are not losing the feed. That's great.
Again, as a quick recap, we had a successful liftoff at 10:58 p.m. from Slick 40 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida. A successful separation of the first and second stages. The first stage is on its way back to our drone ship, A Shortfall of Gravitas, in the Atlantic Ocean.
Stage 2 FTS is saved.
And the second stage is heading to its initial orbital insertion with the TurkSat 5B satellite. We're coming up on a couple events, SECO 1 and landing burn.
Eco 1 will happen first, so we'll see.
And back engine cutoff.
There you go. Parking orbit confirmed.
Stage
Now,
1 landing burn.
Landing burn
Had a
started.
successful second engine cutoff, and
Nominal orbit
the
insertion.
landing burn has just started.
Will it be a bullseye?
And we just heard good orbit. Confirmed a nominal orbital insertion. We're now
Stage
waiting
1
on our
landing
Falcon
leg
to
deployed.
land on drone ship, A Shortfall of Gravitas.
And obviously, why not?
Stage 1 landing confirmed.
It will
And there you have
always
it.
be a
That's
bullseye.
SpaceX's 99th successful booster landing, as well as SpaceX's 78th mission flying a refuel and booster. Our mission isn't over just yet. The second stage is now embarking on its coast phase between the first and second burns of the MVAC-D engine. After the coast phase, we will light the MVAC engine for a second time, a little bit after T plus 26 minutes.
Expected loss of signal. Cape.
We'll see you back here in about 20 minutes at T plus 26 minutes. In the meantime, enjoy some space tunes.
Okay, so yeah, incredible launch as always, right? 99, yes. I'm waiting for that CRS mission. The CRS mission hopefully would be the last mission by SpaceX for 2021, and what a way to end 2021, right? Just having their 100th booster landing, successful booster landing, that is incredible. And obviously 31 launches, that will be again a record. 30 launches is already a record right now with this launch, but why not exceed that? Okay, so now what you will see is there won't be any spin maneuver or anything like that. We'll see if there is anything called, plane change maneuver which will happen, because obviously you can't go to um, um, equatorial orbit, which is like most likely the case for geosynchronous orbits uh, from US, but here it has to go to a 42-degree inclination, so I guess that's all right. That is not a thing to worry about. The blue line which you are seeing is like the next orbit which is expected. The gray line is the thing which it is going on. These are obviously the live views from the rocket, and it is on the night side of the earth, so that's why you can't see the sun and anything like that. But obviously the TurkSat is still attached, and it is very interesting to see that Turkey is not into space business as of now. I mean, not very active, not a big player, but again, still it managed to make this satellite have electrical propulsion on it. That is a great achievement, I would say, because there are countries all over the world which does not have this, I won't say capability as per say, but a thing which they have not been employing to their satellites. Like, take the case of India. They have been into space for such a long time, but ISRO with their own satellites, whatever satellites they right now, whatever satellites they have launched, they all had chemical propulsion, whether it to GTO or interplanetary space, anything. Uh, that being said, they have already realized the Hall effect thruster, which means the ion thrusters. Um, those have been made, so we should expect those ion thrusters coming in action shortly in upcoming satellites. But again, um, space is a thing where you need to be very advanced. So I would say, let's hope ISRO makes up for that. Now we watch for aliens. Exactly. Talking about aliens, Elon Musk, if you have seen that, Elon Musk actually shared that wiggly test for the Super Heavy, and that was incredible. I must say that he has actually, had some plans of the Raptor 2, as well as having nine engines on the Starship, the upper part of the Starship, or simply Starship, whatever you wanna say. Um, right now it has 6 engines, but they want to have 9 of them, 6 vacuum and 3 sea level. So we'll have to see how the things unfold. Okay, so again, we do have some time right now, so let's just discuss how was your 2021. I'll start with mine. Wasn't so great for me. As I said, I wasn't very regular with this YouTube channel because of everything that had happened. But again, other than that, I would say decent, but not very good. Let's I'm hoping that 2022 will be even better, because again KSP2 will be launching. So that is one thing which I'll be looking forward to. And Artemis 1 hopefully, and the Starships. 2022 is quite a year. The Gaganyaan will be launching, the Starship will be launching, the Artemis hopefully will be launching. What else? Europa Clipper, maybe. I guess that's 2022. I don't remember the exact year, but 2022 is quite activity-full year for space. The private players from India, you will see that coming in action in 2022. You will see some rocket launches from them, and let's hope the Starship becomes operational till then, like fully operational, not the experimental flights. Fully operational thing with the landing at the boosters, with uh, the landing the upper stage as well as catching the booster. That would be great by end of 2020. And as SpaceX progresses, so we do know that they are capable of doing that. Pretty crappy. Let's go to the moon. I mean, 2021 has been a quite crappy year, obviously, because many countries have actually witnessed their COVID peak in 2021. So obviously, it was quite a year. But let's hope everything would be good for 2022, and this new variant is somehow just ignores everybody and just become a benign. Let's see, let's hope. We just can hope, right? Okay, right now you can see the speed as the telemetry has been frozen, maybe just because they are not getting the uh, uh, ground link for that. That's why. But right now everything is looking great. And yes, it will not spin this time. The second stage will not spin because it is not carrying Starlink satellite. That is a maneuver which it only performs for Starlink satellites to separate all of them. But this is just one satellite which will be going. uh, the next event will be the SES2 with the SECO2, which will basically raise the apoapse to touch the geosynchronous transfer orbit or geosynchronous orbit, whatever you want to say. So I guess now I can just set my voice, and you just enjoy the music for some time, like 10 minutes or so. Then we'll be back. Who's still broadcasting on Kaku and X-Way? So yes, this will be broadcasting on 42 Q band KU band transponder. So that is one thing. And this satellite is a communication satellite for Turkey, which will have dual use, civilian as well as tree.
And back chill underway.
Actually, signal is advantage.
So RCS thrusters are firing, which is in the preparation for the SES-2. That's what you are seeing here. That is completely nominal. Aligning itself first of all and then firing in the forward direction so that the fuel comes in the bottom of the tank.
Welcome back to the webcast of the Falcon 9 mission carrying the TurkSat 5B satellite designed and developed by Airbus. We're coming up on the second burn of the upper stage engine in just under 30 seconds. Now to recap what's happened so far this evening, we had a smooth liftoff at 10:58 p.m. Eastern Time. 2.5 minutes later, our first and second stages successfully separated. The first stage, which made its third flight today, landed on our drone ship, A Shortfall of Gravitas. Now, the second stage completed its first burn, and that successfully inserted today's payload and second stage into the parking orbit you see on your screen right now. We're getting ready to relight the second stage engine to put us into the geotransfer orbit.
And back, restart ignition.
We've got ignition of the second stage engine. We're up on power.
We have ignition.
Now at this point, the second stage will burn for about 1 minute before shutting down for the second time. This shutdown event is called SECO-2, which stands for Second Stage Engine Cutoff Number 2. And this burn will place the TurkSat 5B satellite into the required orbit prior to separating it from the Falcon 9.
And you might be feeling that this is not, the nozzle is not looking good. But it's like, you know, it's not performing a full thrust burn, so that's why it's like it's not so hot in there. But it's completely nominal.
Standard geo orbit of 35,000 kilometers. We're hearing tank pressure is looking good. Engine performance looks nominal.
We have cut off.
And we've
And back
heard.
engine shutdown.
We've got shutdown of the second stage engine. You saw it briefly there on the screen. And in the background, we heard nominal orbit insertion. So that's the good orbit call out that we always like to hear. So as a reminder, for those tuning in, the TurkSat 5B satellite is still attached to Falcon 9's second stage. And you can just see it a little bit there. We're getting into sunrise as we're coming up over Gabon, or leaving the Gabon ground station, coming up over Heart of Beastock in Africa. So right now, we're gonna wait a few more minutes for the satellite and the second stage to get closer to the final destination. So we're gonna pause the commentary during the second coast phase, but we'll come back just before stage 2 separation takes place. We'll be back at about T plus 33 minutes and 30 seconds, about a minute before separation. And until then, as Ian says, enjoy the space tunes, and we'll see you back here.
Acquisition of signal, HBK.
The TurkSat 5B mission. If you're just joining us, we have just one more major milestone coming up to complete today's mission, which of course is the deployment of the TurkSat 5B satellite from Falcon 9's second stage, which is scheduled to take place in about a minute. Prior to reaching this upcoming milestone, we had an on-time launch at 10:58 p.m. Eastern Time, followed by a successful ascent, separation, first stage landing, and 2 second stage engine burns. As previously mentioned, the TurkSat 5B satellite was designed by our customer Airbus to provide broadband internet services to areas such as the Middle East, the Persian Gulf, the Red Sea, the Mediterranean, Nigeria, various parts of Africa, and its immediate neighbors in addition to Turkey. TurkSat 5B will be the most powerful of the TurkSat satellite fleet and has a designed service life of over 35 years. Now, in any moment, we'll witness the satellite's deployment from our Falcon 9's second stage. Get a good view right here.
Payload separation confirmed.
And there you have it. We've received a successful separation of the TurkSat 5B satellite from the Falcon 9 second stage, which now brings today's webcast coverage to a close.
Expected losses signal.
Thank you to
given.
Airbus for entrusting us with the TurkSat 5B satellite. A big thank you to the range and the Federal Aviation Administration.
That
We
was a
really
beautiful
appreciated having your
deployment.
support for today's mission. It's been an exciting day here at SpaceX, having supported 2 missions within roughly 18-hour time frame. But as we mentioned before, it doesn't end there. Be sure to join us for the next cargo resupply mission to the International Space Station with the CRS-24 mission, currently targeted for Tuesday, December 21st at 5:06 a.m. Eastern Time. And to all our viewers, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again very soon.
Thank you so much, SpaceX. I must say that. See those incredible views, and I guess that is moon out there. That small dot which you can see. Wow, just incredible views. And you can see those because it is like around 1000 kilometer above the surface, so you are actually getting some very good views of the space, as well as the vast space, as well as the earth. Space is actually very vast, and it's like so much to explore. We haven't, I will compare it like for an ocean, the thing which we are exploring right now is like very small island. That's all we are on right now. We haven't explored the whole ocean. Whoa. So I guess that's it for today, guys. I hope you liked the stream. If you did, give it a thumbs up right now, and subscribe if you haven't, because we will be having the live stream for the CRS-2 mission. I guess right now the next one will be from the JAXA, the Inmarsat 2A mission. And JAXA, as you know, is not very much into launch business, so it would be interesting to see how their rocket will perform. And thank you all for joining in. I hope you will have a great day or great night wherever you are situated in. And thank you all for joining in. Until then, this is Priyanshu Roila. You just saw Rocket Gyan. Stay safe, stay healthy, and okay. So I just waited, and thank you so much, John, for $100. Let's hope this donation gives you a smile, Rocket Gyan. Thank you for all your efforts in keeping us up to date on rocketry. Yes, thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. And yes, it did gave me a smile. Or I must say that you know I was just about to end, and it's a great way to end, I guess. Say so. Wait a sec. I do have something else for everyone, which I've almost forgot. So yes, I've been working on another video which you should see before 2022. I must say that. Okay. So first of all, the next mission coming up is the CRS-2 mission, and then the next one will be the JAXA mission. So thank you so much, John. You have always supported me, and it really helps me. Really helps this channel to stay alive. Thank you so very much. I just don't have any words for your support. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. And I'll make sure that in 2022 at least, whatever launches will come, I'll stream that, as well as make some more videos. But right now, get ready for Space Rewind 2021, which should be coming up hopefully before 2022 starts. So thank you all for joining in. Thank you all for supporting all my Patreons, all my donations. Thank you all for your love and support. Really helps me in keeping up this channel. Thank you all for your support. And until then, this is Priyanshu Roila. You just saw Rocket Gyan. Stay safe, stay healthy, and bye-bye.